Hello and welcome back to another video. Apologies, it's a bit dark on this side. Apparently England doesn't know it's spring yet. But I am going on holiday next week to the lovely Sorrento in Italy. I cannot wait. It's going to be warm, well, warmer than here. I don't think it's going to be the hottest time of year to go, but at least it will be warmer than here and a lot brighter. We'll get some vitamin D and some sun, and I'm just going to chill. We're going to go to Herculaneum and Pompeii and, you know, all of these amazing places. And basically I want to take a bunch of art supplies. However, I'm struggling to choose what I want to take. We have a lot of luggage allowance, but I don't obviously want to just be filling it with art supplies. However, I was looking through some past sketchbooks on when I've been travelling to Greece and places like that, and I fell in love with this piece of artwork here in particular. Now this is done with my Winsor & Pigment markers. Now I've shown these a few times on the channel, and they're a really weird pen. They're like a mix between an acrylic marker pen, like acrylic paint pen, and a bit like an alcohol marker. I can't explain it. They're a really weird type of marker, and I suggest you try and use them. They're very dry feeling. As you can see from this background, they're very dry feeling. They kind of, they're just dry. They just feel like you're dry brushing things. But I really love them. I really like them, and I can't get enough of them. And since going to there, I've obviously done lots of artwork. I've done that, I've done this. I've done stuff in my big sketchbook as well, if I can quickly find it. We did this as a video a while ago. As you can see, you can really get some nice depth and colour in there. So I thought I would take those, but obviously since my last time using them on this channel, I've amassed a much larger collection. And this larger collection is too big for me to take on holiday. Far too big for me to take, and therefore I will be trying to single out some colours that I really think are more key and are the better colours for me to take on holiday with me, because as it stands, there's 4 blues, you know, there's 5 reds, there's 5 greens, so I need to bottom those out to have 1 or 2 of each of those colour ranges that I think are going to be perfect for taking with me on holiday. So we're going to do a video here where we're going to actually test out maybe 1 or 2 little pieces, really sketchily, really nice and sketchy like this, and see which colours I seem to grab the most of, and then those are the colours we're going to take on holiday with us. So let's get cracking. Let's find some reference photos on Pexels or Pixabay, and let's do some sketching in the sketchbook, find out which colours we want, and then we can take those with us. swatching like you saw, because I thought we obviously need to see the colours before we start using them. However, I don't know whether the back side of this paper in this Etcher sketchbook is different to the front side, because I swatched on this side, but when I used the colours, they were so much darker on this side. I don't know what it was, but they were much, much darker. So that's just something to be aware of. So basically, for my reference photo, I actually just thought, why not do something from Italy? Because I'm going to be using those colours throughout my artwork, surely not. So I found this lovely Italian kind of like seaside, hillside town sort of scene. And I just thought it would be really nice to practice buildings for one. I'm not the best at buildings, to be honest. I get really impatient with them if I'm going to be quite brutal. It's different when it's just one building by itself, because you can get all the proportions, but when they're all accumulated like this, I find it really hard to decipher between the different buildings. But I thought I would test this out. The buildings look really run down, and not run down, but do you know, like weathered from being part of this next to the sea. So they've been painted yellow, and then obviously the plaster and the paint started to peel off in areas. So I thought that was a really nice thing to practice with these dry markers. The sky went really nicely. I like the way they blended. The sea could do with more work. And then I went over with a uni pin fine liner just to add the detail in. Some of the artwork I do with these markers, I don't ever need to add pen, but with the buildings, for some reason, I was compelled to add the pen to add the finer details and make it look a bit more weathered and worn. But I really like it. I think the colours are really nice. Obviously, this hasn't got any greenery in, and there's going to be greenery, so I will take some greenery. But I think my key colours here, one was linen. However, I noticed as I was using this pen that this nib's so soft. Look at this. It keeps getting damaged. You can't see that. I don't know. Is that going to focus on me? Am I going to focus? Yeah. Keeps getting really damaged when I put the lid on. So I'm not really sure how to combat that. I've already ripped half of it off to try and make it smaller, but it doesn't seem to want to go in there. But anyway, this colour is, which one is this? 122 is this colour, but it kind of didn't, well, it did show up that colour, I guess, but it kind of laid on really dark for some reason. Let me get you focus back down here. So that was a useful colour. The blues, I kind of went mixture of 3 blues. I'm not sure I've really narrowed this down very much, but I can work with whatever I take. But I think a fair few blues, because we're next to the sea and there's obviously going to be blue sky, so we want to decipher between the two. So I think a fair few blues. I think there's a lot of this kind of like pinky colour and yellow tones from the plaster, and I think so I will be taking a lot of these browns, a lot of yellows as well. I don't think I will take many brighter colours, so no purples, I don't think. Only maybe one, maybe this 725, a bit more of a muted red, I think I will take. And then as for the greens, I think none of these really bright greens. I think the more muted ones, so the 599 definitely. Maybe one of these two, oh, you can't see that, one of these two here. And then a couple of greys I think would be really good. And then my white, because that's really good for blending and lightening colours as well. So I think they're the tones. So I have narrowed it down to a fair few. I've probably narrowed it down to about 1/3 of my set, which is pretty decent. Like I said, I do have quite a big, large luggage, so I will be able to fit as much in as I need. But I think that turned out really nice. I'm really pleased with it. Let me get you closer up so you can see a bit better. I really like it. I like the perspective of this kind of platform in the foreground here with the light pole coming up. I can't remember the name of those for some reason. And I like the jetty coming out and the rocks going up here and the kind of shapes of the rocks kind of going into the buildings. But I think it looks really nice. My lighting at the moment is really shocking. I don't know what's happening. But it's actually a bright-ish day out today, so I don't know why it's not kind of showing very well. But anyway, that's the artwork. I think it turned out really well. So I think we've narrowed it down. Let's just say that. I think that's good. And we will leave it at that. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for helping me choose my colours. And hopefully you will see a lot of art from me when we go to Sorrento. And on my return as well, I will discuss what we've seen, what we've done, and show you the artwork in full. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you soon for the next video. Goodbye.